Peace and Black Power family. Welcome to another episode of Do Nots Radio, place for knowledge is born. This is your host, Knowledge is Born Online. Let me do this because I know y'all see the title, y'all see what's going on. So y'all here to see historian, this quantum physicist, this radio host, this blogger, this truth seeker, this truth teller coming here to drop some jewels for us today. So let's welcome to the show my warrior sister, your warrior sister, Tiffany. What's good, sis? How you feeling? Welcome back to the show.
Thank you. I'm feeling good. It's a tremendous blessing to be back on here and have this conversation with you, interacting with you, and all that good stuff. So I'm just blessed. I'm thankful.
All right. So you just had some birthday shenanigans going on not too long ago.
yes.
Happy
I
belated.
turned 31.
Oh snap! She
Yeah.
just turned 21. Y'all heard it here.
No,
She just turned
31. I wish I was 21 all over again, but I'm 31.
All right, so I guess we can start there. What would you tell your 21-year-old self? So speak to the 21-year-olds that's listening. You know, we dedicated this series the month of September to the empowerment and the upliftment of Black women. So let's talk to these Black goddesses out here that's coming up. Give them some words of wisdom.
Well, what I tell my 21-year-old self is to don't be afraid of dealing with challenges. Also just be a little bit more cautious and wise, and you have to learn how to be a little bit more disciplined and humble. And it's a challenge, I'm gonna be honest, and I'm still working on my discipline part, trying to maintain more discipline within myself. um at my 21 years of age, I would encourage myself to read something that was more beneficial, something that was going to get me to a higher level of knowledge. And I will also encourage my 21-year-old self to start to be more prepared and, um, be more prepared and be more like focused financially, be a lot better financially. So yeah, and just like I said, just not be afraid of challenges, because you're gonna always deal with any type of obstacle that's coming your way, and you have to be up for it. You know what I'm saying? You can't always just be so shallow and always trying to find a hiding space. So at some point in time, you gotta deal with people all around you. You're gonna deal with multiple personalities, and that's just how it is in life. But as long as you can maintain control of yourself and control your thoughts, then that's all that matters, because now you set the foundation for yourself. You're the person that's in control. You cannot allow somebody else to be in control of your destiny or in control of your thoughts, because at the end of the day, they control your whole entire being. So what I want to tell the people out there is to just focus on humility and focus on discipline, and also focus on critical thinking as well, and obtaining more knowledge and being able to, because the more knowledge you have, the more understanding you'll get. You see what I mean? So it's very important that we try to inherit as much knowledge as much as possible. We're not going to always know everything. We're not going to always have an answer to every question. Right? We're not going to, everything's not going to be directed to us. So you just know what you can, because that's what you're here for. You got to learn how to live. If you can't learn how to live, then what is your purpose?
I'm clapping. Hold on. Let me get my clap on. All right. So one more question in that regard. Some of your biggest lessons, excuse me, some of your biggest lessons learned come from some of the trial and error. So what would you say in that regard about your trial and error and choices and things like that? What would you say in that regard? Because on the other side of the challenges, there is redemption, there is deliverance, there's a lesson, there is a blessing.
Mhm.
So what would you say to them sisters out there that may be going through something? Because there's a myriad of things that confronts the African woman that we never take credence to as men. We really don't know what y'all go through on a regular basis. You know what I mean? So this series kind of brings a light to, some of those obstacles and challenges and how you overcome those.
So, okay, so the question is how have I overcame my challenges? Is that what you're asking?
What some of the lessons learned from those challenges?
The lesson learned is just be more diligent. And that's one thing I had to learn how to do, be more diligent and just be more critical of my choices. Also, yeah, be more aware because it's real easy to be blindsided and not pay attention. You see, so you always want to bring up the awareness and you always want to be critical. You always want to think about things before you just actually do them. And that's what I had to learn how to do. And that's the lesson that I had to learn, be more critical, be more wise, and be more aware. And also, you was mentioning about the things that we deal with as women, the challenges. Okay, let me tell you, particularly as Black women, the main challenges we deal with is, of course, racism and sexism. All right. So there's a lot of sexism going on in this society, and there's a lot of racism. And it's like we have been undermined for not only our talents, but our intellect. It's like if you have a Black woman who talks about a lot of intellectual thing, it becomes very absurd, if you will. It will become very strange or weird because it's not very common that you hear too many women, especially women in our group, in our race, talk more about intellectual stuff or try to deal with things that's more educational foundation. So we have been caught up under the stereotypical concept that Black women are supposed to be ghetto, supposed to be the Jezebels. Black women supposed to be belligerent and all of that. So, especially if they come from the inner city. So, like myself, I was raised in the inner city. I was raised in the hood. So, with that being the case, it brings a negative light and image to Black women. And I don't think people understand that the damage that it causes on us as a whole. And then you got some women that give into those stereotypes to make the general population of Black women feel like that's what we are and that's what we're about. And not everybody is about the same thing. So it's hard to make that distinction between those stereotypes and the actuality of things. So now you got a case where these group of men right here expect for you to be like these women on television. But that's not what you are. You're not that woman on that television program. And then, like, for example, we in the era where, and I ain't got nothing against rapper Megan Thee Stallion. I'm not a Cardi B fan, so I don't care too much for Cardi B. But I don't have nothing against Megan Thee Stallion, okay? I think she's very intelligent. I think she's very smart. But the song WAP, Wet Ass Pussy, like, that's creating more stereotypical image about Black women. When we entertain that music, when we dance into it and all that, okay, to me the song is whack. It's corny. But to others, it's catchy, right? And they feel like that's entertainment. That's when Cardi said that was women empowerment. I took offense to that. I'm like, how you empower women? How? So you're telling me the value of me as a woman is based on my vagina. That's what you're saying. That's the value of me as a woman. It's because of my body part. It's because of how good I could perform in the bedroom. Well, what about anything else? What's the liberation behind it? Sexual liberation? Anybody can do that. Anybody can open their legs up. Hell, a crackhead down the street can do that if they want to. If they want some crack, they'll open their legs up. When they getting high and they getting that feeling, they'll open their legs up. So what were you telling me? My thing is liberation. Sexual liberation doesn't mean anything if the mind ain't liberated. Because if the mind ain't liberated, then nothing else can be liberated. You know what I'm saying? So liberation has to start with the mind. So I say this, the most valuable assets to a woman, especially a black woman, is her mind. That's the most valuable assets. Then it's her body. Okay? But we have the misconception that body is more valuable than the mind. And we give into those stereotypes. And we got women out here that say, oh, we fighting against patriarch or patriarchal society, patriarchal concept, but at the same time, you give it into it. So how you fighting against it when you're really giving into it? You see what I mean? So I think that as women, we should challenge ourselves in other ways besides using our body, using our image all the time. Just because you look beautiful and because you got a nice figure and you know how to perform well in the bedroom doesn't mean that that person's going to stick around and that you're going to maintain your respect and your dignity. It comes with a territory. It goes beyond that. So the liberation is in the mind, and you have to stimulate your mind. You have to be able to apply yourself and be able to gain more resource and information to elevate yourself. You see what I'm saying? And so we have yet to be elevated collectively. We have yet to get to the higher status quo, or meet the status quo, rather. We have yet to do that. But we talk about liberation, sexual liberation, but we ain't mentally liberated. You know what I'm saying? We're not empowering each other enough to go out here and say, hey, get your money, handle your business, take care of your family, start your business, get that education. It's not enough of that. But it's always, hey, girl, hey, B, oh, my B bag, go ahead, twerk it. That's what you get. You get a lot of that. And it's like, that's not what we're really standing on. That's not our foundation. You know what I'm saying? Our foundation is to be able to educate the people. There's the African proverb that say, when you educate a man, you educate an individual. But when you educate a woman, you educate a community. So the woman is the primary teacher. The woman is the primary educator. Okay, she's the main educator in the family. So if she's not educating the children, then who else is going to do it? So in order for her to be that educator and be able to set that example, she got to work on herself. She got to work on self-discipline, self-love, and work on being able to cultivate her mind and do things that's going to help her get through life and become a better person and become more productive. And also, not only she got to learn critical thinking, she got to be able to learn how to provide for her family. Okay? Not only you got to be able to learn how to provide, but also you got to be able to learn how to protect. Protect yourself and protect those around you. And you have to be able to learn how to make better decisions, especially when it comes to choosing your mate. Because whatever person that you attract or you gravitate towards, it comes with many challenges that you have to deal with, that you're not ready to face. So the problem is we get caught up on a type of idea of what we want our men to be. Yes, of course, we want men to be strong. We want them to be providers, but we gravitate towards the wrong men who don't have our best interests at heart. We gravitate towards those who are more than likely to take advantage of us because we give them the leverage to do so. Because we're so nurturing and compassionate, which is nothing wrong with that, because that's our nature. But at the same time, you gotta be able to stand your foot down. You gotta stand your ground and let that person know what's your position and where you stand and the foundation you stand on. Because if you don't, then that person gonna continue to take advantage. And also, we got a misconception about love. We think that love means that a person can abuse us and use us anytime they want to. And that's not love. That's not what it is. That's toxicity. That's toxicity, and that's pain, and that's agony, and that's suffering. And who want to go through life continuously suffering every single day because the spouse wants to be so dominant and controlling and abusive? So yeah, that part. And then we also got to work on the level of communication. We also got to work on not always operating from the impulse. Like, some things deserve a reaction, but everything does not need a reaction. I mean, we all have our bad days. We have days where we don't want to be bothered, but everything do not deserve a reaction. And you have to also be reliable for your choices too. You see what I'm saying? You can't always play victim. You can't always blame somebody else because you made the irrational decision due to the fact that you was operating out of anger and you felt like you was trying to prove a point. You got to be able to find another way to go about dealing with a current problem. You got to find a way that it can work out the best for you and not get you caught up in a situation. So, being always aggressive and always antagonizing and destroying items and trying to pick a fight all the time, it's not going to always help. It's not going to do the work because that's only going to make matter worse for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got women who want to try to do whatever they can to stop the man from cheating on them. Right? So they think that burning down his stuff or smashing out the car window is going to help it. It's going to stop it. It ain't going to do anything. It ain't doing no good. Because get what? He's still going to do what he want to do at the end of the day. So you really ain't proving no point. What point have you proven? What have you done? Nothing. So you got to find another solution, which does not consist of these things, which does not consist of taking advantage of someone or doing things that is going to put your life in jeopardy. And so with that being said, I digress.
So final thoughts and final message of empowerment for our sisters, something that they can glean on, something that they can put into practice. I definitely thank you for the time that you have. Hopefully we could get you back on one more time before the month is over. I know you got a lot going on. And talk about your show that you have on your podcast, where they can find it and how they can support you as well.
Okay, well, Okay, well, you guys can find me on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel. It's Tiffany French, TiffanyFrench, Tiffany French. That's my YouTube channel. And of course, you can find me on Facebook, which is Tiffany L. French. And I have an IG, which is Tiffany French 1989. I have a Twitter account, which is Miss French 89. So that's where you can find me. And I have a lot of video contents that mainly deal with African American history, because I like to deal with Black history for the most part. And then there's some other general topics that I may discuss, whether it be about social issues, psychological issues, maybe politics or economics. And then every now and then I have people on the program where I do like international interviews with them. And then also I like to deal with science. And one of my favorite subject matter is talking about neuroscience, consciousness, and quantum physics. So yeah, I deal with various topics, but the main topics that I deal with the most is Black history, because I feel like it's very important and it's very relevant for our people to know where we come from and our foundation and how we got to where we are today as a people.
So, Warrior Sister, I definitely salute you, and I definitely tune in to your broadcast every time you live and subscribe. I love what you're doing. I think the subject matters that you pick provide more range and more dimensions in regards to learning who you are by learning what you study, and what you seek to impart to us. So, keep on moving. There's not a lot of channels out there that deal with our people without compromise, and yours is one of a few. You know, they give you something, but they give you something with some cut. They give you something not whole, not pure. Something mixed, diluted, or tampered with. You understand what I'm saying? So, thank you for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day. You can keep this. You can upload it on your channel as well, and definitely love to have you back.
Okay, then. All right, thank you.
All right.
All right, then. Well, you take it easy.
All right. Peace.
All right, then. Peace.